We're on the speakership chaos. Joining us now, Cheyanne Daniels, politics reporter with our partners at The Hill. Cheyanne, thank you for some of your time here. Okay, we're going into a seventh vote at this point. What options does McCarthy have when it comes to staying in this race?
Surprisingly, Kevin McCarthy has three options at this point. The first option is, as we were just listening, go back to the drawing board. Listen to what those never Kevins want, see if he can give it to them. And if not, then perhaps it's time to start to reach across the aisle and see if they can loop in some of those more moderate Democrats. Not saying Democrats will go for that, but that is an option. We've heard some talk that there's some preliminary discussion about that. And his third and final option, which we've also heard a lot about, is perhaps now is the time for him to step aside and see if there is somebody else that the never Kevins would be willing to vote for.
So what is the best case scenario here for both Republicans and for Democrats?
Obviously, the best case is for them to be able to have their person in the speakership position, right? And for Democrats, that's going very well. They have Congressman Hakeem Jeffries that they have voted for consistently. In fact, in that last vote, he had the 212 votes compared to Kevin McCarthy, who had less. And honestly, this is actually working in the Democrats' favor, this disarray that Republicans are going through, where they're able to point out to their constituents and voters to say, look, Democrats have their act together. It's the Republicans who don't. Maybe next time vote for us.
So, Cheyanne, we heard, former President Trump publicly calling on his party, on Republicans, to back McCarthy. Tell us, why do you think that didn't work? At least it hasn't worked so far. And is there maybe some other big name whose backing could sway the race toward a specific candidate? Maybe someone like a Ron DeSantis.
Mm-hmm. I think at this point, what's interesting is we are seeing a majority of the Republicans in the House wanting Kevin McCarthy to get that speakership. They're ready to move on. It's the far right conservatives who we're really seeing are not standing for Kevin McCarthy at this point. And, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that coming out of the midterms, there were quite a few of Donald Trump's candidates who he had picked who didn't win. So there's some frustration there. There are some of those very far right leaning conservatives who are looking to see just how much power can they still hold over the Republican Party at this moment. And if not, as we heard Congresswoman Lauren Boebert say, maybe it's time to tell former President Donald Trump, now is not the time for you to jump in. You need to put your supporting back behind us.
Well, speaking of that, and our last question for you, Cheyanne, there's this rift within the Republican Party. How do Republicans move past this? Are we going to see similar rifts continue as we move closer and closer to the 2024 presidential race?
I think that's a really interesting question that we'll all be waiting to see how this plays out as 2024 campaigning gets underway. We know, of course, former President Donald Trump has already tossed his hat into the ring, has announced he will be seeking the presidency again. But as you mentioned, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has become quite the talk of the town as well. He is a very strong contender in the race for presidency, although he has not announced his plans just yet. And so I think what we'll need to keep an eye on is if those really far right conservatives are going to be willing to come to a consensus when it comes time to elect the president, or if we're going to see more of this rift play out for the White House.
All right, Cheyanne Daniels, thank you for your insight. We're certainly going to see what happens. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.